Angeles,
Hi.
Other action figures each sold separately. From
Record the purr.
Jimmy, get the door. It must be Cousin Willie. Okay. Hi. What's up?
Ah, there we go. Something chill to watch. The following video is rated R and is intended for an adult audience. So if you're under 18, take a fucking hike, eh? As this video may contain adult themes and situations, strong language and opinions, good and bad advice, cannabis cultivation and consumption. So as long as you're a responsible adult, kick back, spark one up, and enjoy the show.
And works only.
Hi everybody, Anna Beard Grows here. How the heck are you doing? Welcome to Friday Night Gardening. And this is what's growing on, man. That's almost getting cheesy to say. But hey, welcome. Hang out. Come on in. How y'all doing? It is Friday night, and we got some things to discuss about things growing on behind me here. We've got some, well, I'll just say it outright. We've got some success and we've got some failures, and a little bit of both. The majority in the win, though. We're doing all right. One of these four ain't like the other. Let's see here. Yeah, I was about a minute late today. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Hey, let me turn these lights off. These things are insane, hey? So these are the brand new MARSHYDRO ADLITE things, are just illuminating the heck out of this. Let's turn off just the blue. If I turn off just the blue, that affects and it makes it all look almost yellow in comparison. It's not yellow, but that blue was so hard that it just affects the way it looks. And I can turn this down, and heck, we'll just switch it right off like that. And that way we can see what's going on in the room a whole bunch better when these main lights are all off, because they're just too powerful for silly internet cameras, you know? Let's see here. How y'all doing? I'm wearing my Growing Floor shirt. You know what? I was wearing that earlier today. I slept in it last night, and I looked at it and I said, I think I was wearing this last night, and I decided to change shirts, and now I'm wearing my Growing Cheese shirt. But that's funny that you're wearing your Growing Floor shirt. I love that shirt. Growing Orion F1 from Royal Queen. Right on, right on. Have fun with that. Currently, I am growing Northern Lights from AUTOFLOWERS from, oh God, what's his name now? Oh no. I got a million things going on in my head right now, and I just put that name aside. Milo Genetics. That's it. Milo Grows Genetics. That's the name of the fella. I got them through Coastal Mary Seeds, and you can get them through Coastal Mary Seeds too. Use my name as a code, Cannabeard25. Save yourself 25% off. Okay. It's been a long day, and I need dab. Dab time, hey? It is dab time indeed. Aldeo, hello. Yeah. It is time. Actually, before we do this, let's thank today's sponsor, MARSHYDRO. Let's get this out of the way first, so that I'm not sandwiching it with that. These amazing lights I've got going on right now. I'll show you a little bit more here in a bit, but we've got the entire ADLITE series hooked up to this Fc8000 series lights up here. I've got ventilation going on. I've got this brand new 43 smart controller. I've got the new iHub bar to control all of those lights. and I control them all on the brand new MARSHYDRO Pro app. And so you can use my name, Can of Beard, here if you want to check out any of these cool products on your own here. Also, we've got the brand new humidifier, smart humidifier down here. I'll show you that again here in a minute, but let's get back to what we were talking about. Dab time.
It's dab time, motherfucking dab time.
Yeah, I like this new ADLITE series, man. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's got ultraviolet, infrared, extra blue, and far red for different extended spectrums. I'm smoking on, this is a little bit of Blue Dream live resin right here. Show you a little bit, but just go over there. Not much left, but oh yeah, oh yeah, that's so good. I love my SP3000, says Polar Caps. I also love my SP series. I won't sell them. I've got my SP. I've got an SP250, an SP3000, and an SP3000 Greenhouse Edition. They're like almost waterproof. They're really, really, really water resistant. They're good for high humidity situations, is what it is. So I've got all of those, and I don't want to get rid of any of them. They're fucking awesome lights. They're a little bit overpowered. They are a commercial light, but that's kind of why I don't want to get rid of them, because they're super OP. But this thing, this setup is something super cool. Let me fiddle with it a little bit, and I'll show you. So if you look up there, you can see these green brackets holding on to extended light systems. So obviously we've got the on-off of the regular lights. Those are just the regular lights right there. I'm gonna turn those off for a second. So we've also got what is currently only hooked up to the blue. I have the red up there. The red is up, but it's not hooked up. So there's two blue bars, and that, as you can see, just makes it look like a black light frickin' show in here. It's pretty crazy. There's the UV ones. That one doesn't look like it does a whole lot, but trust me, that's some pretty heavy duty output. That'll burn your skin if you sit under that for too long. So we'll turn that off. And, oh, and the infrared right here. Again, doesn't look like a whole lot. Like if I turn off the, yeah, there we go. If I turn off the main lights there, you can see these infrareds a little bit better. And again, really interesting things, infrared, and I'll go back to the UV for just 1 second so you can see it pop up there. Or was that the UV? Infrared, UV, and yeah, and then there's the red blue, which this one's nuts. The straight up blue one is crazy. It floods the it floods the screen. It's not a good setup. It's too much. Well, it's not that it's not a good setup. Pardon me. It's hard to film, is what I mean. I've actually struggled with assorted lighting and web cameras for quite a while, finding some good ones that work well, and or certain lights that you just don't use because they don't film for crap. And that was just sort of my problem. But all of the standard MARSHYDRO lights have been really easy to film because they're sort of like a nice broad spectrum. They're kind of a right across the standard that you don't need to really wear crazy glasses or you're going to burn your eye sockets out. Now with all of these additions, with all of these ADLITEs, I've been wearing my I've been wearing my shades when I'm down here working and doing some stuff. So let's come on down and have a little look here. Harvested the bud from the orange Bubba Haze yesterday. Smells like a mango. Nice. So, for anybody that's not super familiar with this setup that I've got going on here, this is the AirCube system from Grow Ace. And is what it is there's a smart brain sort of setup here. This is where all the timer and whatnot is all built into, and there's a whole bunch of float valves. This is supposed to be set up with these so that they're all even. Whenever the water is this high in this system, they will be the same height in all of the rest. So basically, you just need to fill this up to a specific height, and everything else will even across. This is a reservoir. There's a pump in here and a pump in here, one going this way and one going this way. And there's sensors, like I said, when the timer comes on, is what happens is it will pump water from here into here until the float valves are triggered, and then it will stop, thus filling all of these about to like if I had to right about here with water, about 75% with water, let's say, right? And these are bags of COCO and perlite with currently some little humidity domes over top of them, because I did a little bit of transplanting last week and I wanted to give everything a good run. And then I've got, like I said here, I've got the new smart humidifier here hooked up with a hose, and it'll spread across all of this really nicely. I've got it set up that way. However, I don't have it really turned on at the moment because I'm using the humidity domes. And with my regular hand watering cycle, I spray the insides of the domes, put them back, and they've been liking that. As we all know, cannabis in its early stages does like high humidity to a certain extent. Maybe not like insane humidity, but pretty high nonetheless. So here's what's growing on down here. Let's take a look here. This one right here did not, two of them from last week needed to be transplanted, if you remember. This one here and this one here both didn't do very well, and they kind of shriveled up a bit, but I had backups, so I put the backups in. So both of these are behind these two. These two are a little bit more advanced by approximately a week's growth. That's about where we're at with that. So, that being said, let's have a look at this first one right here. This is one that's been sitting here for 2 weeks. It's looking pretty good in size, if you ask me. Yeah, looking not bad at all. Decent size for we're at about 3 weeks right now, essentially. These are at about 3 weeks, and then this one and this one diagonal are at about 2 weeks. Before these plants get too big, I might swap the back one to the front one so that the front two are the smaller ones and the back two are the bigger ones. Or vice versa. Maybe I'll put the smaller ones in the back and have the bigger ones in the front. I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at the other one here that's doing well. There's the other one. Again, doing pretty darn good. Looking about as expected. And then we can take a look at one of the transplants here. This is one of the transplants. It's definitely smaller. If you look at this plant right here, and then you look at this plant, you can see they're about a week apart for sure. This one's looking fine. Health-wise, I guess it's okay. However, this one is not a happy fucking plant. Let me see if I can get a better angle in here. Oh, sorry. There we go. Like that. It is a very unhappy little plant. It's got little spotting on it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I've been feeding everybody the exact same routine, identical. This one had a little bit of spotting on it before I even transplanted it, to be honest. When I transplanted it, it had a little bit of that, somewhat shriveled nature. Not doing amazing, And I thought, you know, it didn't really matter. It was the only backup I had. So I put it in there anyway, and it not only hasn't recovered, it almost seems like it's been getting worse. So I don't quite know what's going on with this one. We might have to, if it's looking sickly continuously, like if by next week, I'll give it another week. But if by next week it doesn't look any good, I'm gonna pull it. I mean, for obvious reasons. If it's got some rot or something going on, I don't want to share it with the rest of the family. Yeah, if it's just not gonna recover, then we'll pull it. But everything else is looking pretty expected. Now, I had somebody ask me recently, what is with these green domes, these green little plates that I've got on here? So these are some old things I've had kicking around for a couple of years from a company called FloraFlex. It was part of their like watering matrix system. It's got a whole bunch of little tiny holes. You'll see little tiny dots all in the bed of that, and it allows the water to be sort of distributed across the top kind of evenly, while kind of shading and covering the top of your plant, while at the same time allowing it to breathe just a little bit. So here, for example, I'll show you sort of how I've been utilizing this. Grab just a little bit of water here from my reservoir. And so when you go and water it here, normally if you just poured water on the top of a medium like cocoa or soil, it'll almost dig a hole, right? And I can just pour it in there like that, and it will kind of, you know, disperse it like almost like a rain top, and not disturb it very much. Also, I didn't get the plant soaking wet. It's a way for me to kind of, I shouldn't water it too much more than that. I just wanted to sort of show you for a demonstration on how watering with those tops, if you're watering by hand at all, is a good thing. And then when you put the dome back on there, it's still all wet down here. You see it's still all wet in there. You see the little holes now up closer. Yeah, I don't know, I just had them kicking around, and I thought, you know, this is gonna be a good way to stop that algae from growing on the top of the soil. I think it was also potentially a problem with having my cocoa too wet last time, potentially overwatering it. And this just sort of allows it to trap in that moisture a little bit and, you know, keep it from growing anything it doesn't want growing on it, as well as shade it a bit. And I don't know, I'm just throwing them on there. I'm gonna see what happens. And it looks kind of cool. Looks clean, I thought. I don't know. The old leaves look bad, but sometimes they don't make it. She might. Yep, I'm gonna give it another week for sure. This little shriveled one over here, I'll give this another week. We'll see. If it looks like it, I don't even care if it's a runt. I'll let it grow. If it's a runt, so be it. Runts happen sometimes, or whatever. If it's gonna grow, it's gonna grow. But like I said, if it looks suspicious any further, or just continues to degrade into the new growth that's trying to happen, I'll pull it. It's unfortunate. It means if it continues happening into the new growth that's happening under the top, and whatever happening below, and if that keeps happening onto the new stuff, then something's obviously going wrong, sort of below ground, like in the root zone or something. Maybe something's gone south. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know, but I don't like what I'm seeing so far. At any rate, I've still been hand watering these things. This system is set up, and I'm about ready to turn it on in the next couple of days. Maybe I could maybe let it go another week and continue hand watering a little bit, but at the same time, I could just turn this on slow, like twice a day. Twice a day it floods for 15 minutes and then goes down. That would be okay. That shouldn't be an over watering at this point. Maybe even once a day. I don't know. Whatever. I'll be turning it on at the very latest by next week. and I'll have this system here doing the humidity thing on this, and should be good to go. I'm actually a little bit what's the word? Somber, I think is maybe the right word, because this is probably very likely my last grow in this house. As many of you do know, we are moving. The house that we've been renting for the last 7 years, 6 years, something like that, is it's being sold. They're selling it on us, and we cannot assume that the new owners are going to let us rent to continue renting. There's a very good chance that whoever buys it is going to want to move in and fix it up and stuff. So regardless, we're just going to up and move because we have to, pretty much one way or the other. It's like a 90% sure we're going to move. So yeah, we've been packing, and the sort of the tentative move out date is like middle of summer, sometime early summer, maybe middle of summer. We should be out of here. So this is very likely the last grow in this house. I might try and start something and move it. I might try to do an outdoor thing for a little bit. I don't know. We will see. Outdoor is going to be very difficult because whatever we do outdoor has to be in small enough pots that we can move them by hand, put them into a vehicle or on the back of a truck or something. So I can't do any like big 20-gallon pots this year, outdoors for sure. I got a lot of soil to move. We did find a place that's big enough to let us continue gardening, and we can bring our chickens and our cats and our rabbits and stuff. We're still debating on whether or not we want to keep the rabbits anymore, just because they're not getting the attention that they probably should get. We still, you know, we feed them and water them and all that all the time, but we don't play with them or anything anymore. And we don't really want to breed them anymore. We think that's a little bit irresponsible. We kind of decided we didn't want to breed them and just keep flooding the town with baby rabbits. Probably not a good idea. I kind of love my rabbits though, so it'll be a hard decision. And the original thought of doing that was because it might be easier to move without them. To find a place with less pets, I mean. But we found a place, so we're probably going to end up keeping them, to be honest. But it is something we've discussed, and I think at the very least, we're going to have to get one of them fixed. Because we don't want no more baby bunnies. They're cute as heck, but you know, there's only so many people in town that want baby rabbits and stuff, so, and it's a pretty small community, so it's probably not a good idea to flood it. Anyway, I'm repeating the same phrases here. That was a pretty darn good dab. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and I will be likely on playing some Twitch gaming later tonight. So if you got further questions, hey, feel free. I have people come in Twitch all the time and asking me if it's appropriate to ask grow questions when I'm playing games. Go right ahead. Come on in. I'm just chilling, gaming with my friends and stuff, and it's half of us are growers anyway, so come on in. Chat. If I don't know the answer, chat will. Just like over here in the live chat and in the Discord. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, folks. Thank you very much for hanging out with me here. Don't forget to hit that like button if you do like my show. Subscribe if you're not already. Double check that you're set for all notifications, because I do mostly live streams. Share it with a friend, because YouTube sure doesn't promote me, so it's up to you guys to share me if you don't mind. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon one way or the other. Sunday session, 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time. I'll see you Sunday for Sunday session at the very latest. Have a good one, everybody. Whoa. You know what? I don't have an ending button. I do not have an ending button on my box of buttons. No ending button. I'm gonna have to change that. Cheers.